NFP in the Forex market. NFP in full is non-farm payroll. It's the heartbeat of the Forex market. Ideally, it's one of the major, biggest, highly volatile movements any person has ever seen in the Forex market. So, if you're someone who loves making quick money, if you're someone who loves leveraging, if you're someone who wants to actually grow their account quickly, then NFP is the way. In the video today, I've come out to basically elaborate, look, define NFP. Why, how, when, and what is NFP in this particular video. So literally everything that you have actually had or questioned about NFP, I'm actually going to be answering it in this video. However, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do such that you enjoy the content that we happen to release. You can also click onto the button, I don't know if it's here or here, such that you subscribe and notified whenever we happen to come out to give you such content to do with Forex trading. Without any wastage of time, I'll get directly onto NFP, which is the main sole reason as to why I created this particular video. NFP stands for non-farm payroll. The reason as to why it's called NFP, the actual name should be employment data, employment rate of the United States. But the reason as to why they call it NFP, it's because of the exclusion of the farmers. By definition, NFP, let me ask Google what NFP is. By definition, NFP, it's a US government report that shows how many jobs, new jobs were created in the country, excluding the farm jobs. Like you've had it, we are excluding the farm, just like the way you can see it, non-farm. It excludes farmers. Why? Farmers are seasonal workers. Therefore, the reason as to why they are seasonal workers, they are literally not permanent workers. And what includes or is included in NFP is ideally permanent jobs. So we're looking at the new permanent jobs that are generated in the US economy that particular month. Therefore, it's the reason as to why we call it NFP. Why would someone trade NFP? Why is NFP important? Why is NFP important? Why would actually a trader like you and me get to know, would want, importantly, look at the NFP? Because NFP defines the job structure of the United States. When people have jobs, this means that they have more money in their pocket. When you have more money in your pocket, it means that you're going to have more spending. If you have more spending, then it means that that's a strong economy. You get it? Equal. Job equals to more money in the pockets, more spending, and literally a strong economy. If you have no jobs, or if you have weak jobs, then definitely we expect you to have less money in the pocket, and therefore you're going to spend less, and then this leads to a weak economy. So definitely you as a person who is trading, you can leverage onto this, knowing that if there is an increased job creation in the United States as an economy, definitely this leads to a strong dollar, and therefore you as a trader who is trading, you're definitely looking forward leveraging onto that, and definitely go for a long on the US dollar. If the US economy releases information data that defines that there were low jobs that were created than the previous month, then definitely this is a negative news, and therefore it's bad for the dollar. What happens if it's bad for the dollar? Definitely, you're definitely going to look forward shorting or selling the US dollar, which eventually gonna generate money, because in trading, information is power, and not only in trading but everywhere else. So literally it is important for us to trade the US dollar, reason being, rather NFP, reason being it brings money in our pockets. By so, we're making money trading Forex, and it's the major purpose as to why I always come out to tell you, to elaborate, to enlighten you to things to do with this in our trading, because they are the information that every person needs in their trading. NFP affects different currency pairs, and majorly we focus on major currency pairs. When I talk of the major currency pairs, I'm looking at the Euro USD, I'm looking at Australian dollar US dollar, I'm looking at NZD USD, I'm looking at USD JPY, especially the major currency pairs. Why? Because they are vast with the US dollar. Okay, major economies burst with the US dollar, hence coming up with major pairs, which is an effect, and they could probably be the only pairs that we should always look up to when we are trading. When is the US economic data, rather employment data, is released, or NFP released? It's usually released every Friday of the new month. Most of the times it may not be released. That is, if the first day of the first month is a Friday, it may be had and probably be projected to the next month, to the next week. However, it's always released every first Friday of the new month, and usually it's between 8:30 New York time. Ugandan time, it's about 3:30 p.m. Ugandan time. So this is the time we expect it to actually be released, and therefore this is when we are probably looking forward trading NFP. NFP usually comes with high volatilities in the market. What does this mean? This means that you have to be keen, you have to deploy the risk management techniques that are of the greatest caliber when you are trading. You need to be sensitive, you need to be probably skillful when you are trading the markets. We have different approaches when we are trading NFP. There are those that trade before NFP, during NFP, and after NFP. So you have to choose amongst this depending on how experienced you are and how fast you are and how much money you want out of the market, and probably how much money do you have on your account will all define what techniques, what approaches, what technicalities you're going to deploy when you are trading NFP. I would definitely recommend everyone to trade NFP because it's one of the easiest ways of making short money, and also seeing the strength of the market, of the Forex market, and how impactful it is when we are trading it with regards to the rest of the other fundamentals. With that, I would basically recommend people to use Forex Factory as a website as I finalize. Forex Factory as a website where you can fetch all this information. Go and probably look at the previous, the forecasted, and the actual figures. It's a matter of you comparing this, and if the actual figure is more than the forecasted figure, then that news is good for the dollar, and definitely we expect the dollar to gain value. So if the actual figure is less than the forecasted figure, then definitely we expect the dollar to lose value. And therefore, we expect you to know how to treat, how to definitely mingle, how to definitely know how you're going to treat this when it comes to a currency pair, where we have the US dollar as the base or as the core currency. With that, I would love to stop from here. I believe you've probably mastered and gotten to understand what NFP is. With any queries, if you have probably any barriers to do with NFP news trading generally, I've put my contact in the video. Don't hesitate to contact us. We'll always be in position to help you. Those that are interested, those that are probably would want to learn the skill of trading, mentorship, and a lot more, still use the very number to reach us through. We'll be in position to help. Have a lovely day. Enjoy.